Hey everybody, today we're going to go on a little tour of our containers and baskets here at our own house, our back deck and our front porch. And I'm going to warn you, some of them are beautiful, some of them are in a little bit of rough shape, but it has to do a lot with containers and how it is taking care of them. And we'll talk a little bit about what happened with each one. Kudos though to Liam's sister who has been taking care of these. However, she has also been very busy doing a remodel on our bathroom, doing work on the foundation of the house.
I cannot be upset if one of the containers didn't get enough water.
Yeah, so she's exempt from all responsibility, but things still look pretty good.
Not totally, but oh yeah, she is.
He's so hard on his sister.
She's hard on me too.
He's worse to her than he is to me. I mean, what does that tell you? Okay, so let's take a look. So we'll start over here. We have a mix of things. So she has her basil plant growing like crazy. This is a microcoleus, so it's intended to stay small like this. It's really cute, don't you think?
Yeah, very nice.
I love that bright pink color on it. Now this one here is part of it's doing great, but the petunia is struggling. So this is a Supertunia honey, and it's very leggy. And so when we talk about leggy, this is what we mean.
What causes that?
It can be caused either by maybe lack of fertilizer. It might have been struggling with water at some point as well. I think what I might do is I might just give this a trim, give it a lot of fertilizer for a couple, stretches, like cycles of fertilizer, and see if it comes back. It's a little late in the season, but we'll try to do that. This is a Wicked Witch coleus.
One of Corey's favorites.
Oh, you always think of me when you think of Wicked Witch, don't you? But this is such a beautiful one. This is an Alternanthera as well. So you can see that's doing pretty well. Because our season is kind of short here, our Alternanthera doesn't get quite as big as I see other people's. Other people's, it's like hanging down the edge. But I think we have cold for too long. Just got tomato here. And then this one here is doing actually quite well despite some abuse. So this is the Supertunia Picasso in purple.
And this is that gumball thing I was telling you about.
Yeah, so this is a Gumfrena, and we had put that one in there in the center, and I think it's really beautiful. I have to say
that I think this petunia and the gumball farina
Gumfrena
looks really good together.
And this is a Whirlwind Scaevola as well.
That's a nice combination. So people should remember that combination.
And the Scaevola is really drought tolerant. The petunia is normal petunia. Yeah. Now over here, we have a couple things going on here. So this one did definitely suffer some drought issues. This is what happens with straw flowers when they have drought. They just kind of sacrifice some of their leaves. We could go in there, clean it up. It'll bounce back, but the flowers look great on it. And so it's a really nice one.
Not all of them.
Yeah, well, that one's kind of, is that buggy? I can't tell. There's a spider web on a lot of these plants. This is a trailing Mizu.
That's nice. That's really nice. I like that one a lot.
And then
yarrow.
Yeah, this is called Desert Flame.
Is it yarrow?
It's not yarrow.
Oh, well, close enough though.
But it is a really drought tolerant plant. So you can see it's perfectly happy with no water.
This is the stuff we see on the side of the road, isn't it?
It's very different from that, but the flower is very similar.
I stand corrected.
This would be more of a desert plant.
Oh, all right.
So, and then we'll come over here. This one's struggling as well. So we have a Calibrachoa in here. I think that's from the Cha-Cha series possibly, or it's Cabaret, I can't remember.
That's a deep purple, isn't it?
It is a really beautiful purple. I'll have to look back and see which one I planted in here. But it had some watering issues, so it kind of struggled a little, but it's doing okay. The geranium's doing fine. And then this is a...
hummingbird bush.
Yeah, the Kufia, the Vermillionaire, and this one's very leggy, so that tells me that it probably went through some drought and it lost a lot of leaves, because when we look at this other one over here, which is the same plant, it also lost some of its leaves, but it's not struggling quite as much. It is a drought tolerant plant. It gets shrub size, but and Lizzie said that what she ended up having the problem with was that we had rain, then it was cloudy because of the wildfires, and then after that, it was really hot and dry, so it kind of caught her off guard.
The hummingbirds love this stuff, though.
Yeah, this.
If you want hummingbirds, get that.
Yeah, that's a great one for that. And then these are a dahlia. I can't remember if that's. I'll have to look at which series it was. This is doing really, really well. She hasn't been cleaning it. We haven't been cleaning it, which is understandable. But it could use a little cleanup. But it's flowering like crazy. I'm very impressed with this one, and it just kind of fascinates me. Now this one here, you can see that the Supertunia Mini Vista Plum Veined has taken over, and we are having a little bit of leggy action going on. Now this plant here is a different type of Kufia from this. I think it was the Proven Winners series.
The dead Kufia.
It's actually not dead, I don't think. I think we could cut it back, it'll bounce back. This is one that if it dries out, it really looks bad. You can cut it back and it usually refreshes. I did have two different petunias in here, red ones. So one was the Sanguino Merlot, I think it was, and the other one was the Black Cherry Supertunia. Those have kind of gotten swallowed up right now. So there's a couple plants or flowers in here, but not a whole lot, not enough for us to decide. She's got...
Show this one down here.
Yeah, that is a portulaca, or there's a couple names for that. And this is a beautiful one. She had picked this up in town, and these love hot, dry conditions, and they do close up their flowers when it's shady, and it's quite shady today. Here's another one that wants fertilizer, and it definitely went through some drought. So this is a different type of Kufia. I think this might have been Honeybells or Hummingbird's Lunch. I can't remember. This is the Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow. That one definitely, wants more food, or it's suffering right now. I don't think this is going to really bounce back too much for us, but that's fine. It made it this long. And this is, I think, the Sally Fun Blue Lagoon Salvia, and Salvia can handle a drought as well.
Blue Lagoon, it's purple.
Yeah, well, sorry.
The purple lagoon.
Okay, we'll call it the purple lagoon on your half.
Now
this one's holding up really well.
And it is a little more blue.
And do you remember who planted this?
Yeah, that was planted by me.
You planted this one.
Did I really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Congratulations.
Well,
man.
that. And look at how nice this planter looks. Look at the beautiful begonias.
So this is a lobelia called Hot Plus Aqua, and it's liking the shady conditions. The Hot Plus has a nice big flower. We put two different colors of begonia. So I believe this one on this side was the Selenia Chocolate Orange. This one over here was the Iconia Portofino Deep Orange. Now this lobelia is struggling a little bit. Must have gotten a little lack of water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is this one?
Lobelia will look. This is how lobelia usually looks. It will bounce back. You can give it more water and fertilizer, but it tends to still look rough. The Alocasia, this is the Emerald Isle. This one's doing pretty well. We need to probably remove that dead one. This Coleus is the Florida Sun Rose. It looks like, I think we have some bugs eating it. Didn't get quite as big as I was hoping. Same thing with that Impatient that's in there with it. Some more Impatience. I'm wondering if we have maybe a bug or something.
I like this stuff.
Yeah, this is, I think, that portulaca. Well, no, this might be just a sedum type thing that she picked up. And then over here, this is another one that we planted, but it's not all that happy. So this Coleus looking a little leggy. It's the Main Street La Rambla, and I think this area is just not getting any sun because it's really shaded, heavy shade.
Are there plants that will...
There are some, and it might be this spot because everything over here kind of looks a little bit like it's struggling. However, I mean, the begonia is okay. This isn't a trailing variety, but it's trailing quite nicely. This is, I think, the Vermilion Hot Pink possibly, and there's also a Rose Picotee tucked in here as well. And then there was one of the Euphorbias as well. And the Euphorbia never really took off in that one. And then when we come down over here, this one's also struggling. So the Browelia, I think that's how you pronounce it, it's not doing super great, but I noticed there's this speckling on the leaves. I don't know if that's bugs or the wrong kind of sun. Not sure.
Or lack of sun.
Yeah, well, that one's a shade one. And this begonia is looking a little rough. Now, that said, these things may have peaked earlier, and then they were under stress. So, we'll see. This one down here is looking okay. And really what's carrying the day, though, is this Coleus. So this is the Flamethrower Verde. There's some Terenia in there, but it's out of bloom. And the leaves look a little funny to me. So I'm wondering, is there a bug? Another begonia. I think that's the Selenia Dark Pink. But look at this thing here. This is beautiful.
I like that.
Yeah, now we had picked these succulents up, I think, in Manitowoc for her, and we got it as a gift. And
I think it was her birthday gift.
Yeah, Liam says everything's her birthday gift. So these look great, and I think she'll probably bring these in for the winter and see how they do.
They're kind of cool.
Yeah, and then over here,
one of my favorites.
Yeah, we have the King Tut grass. Now, this King Tut grass is struggling. When the heat came on, it wanted more water than it got, but it's holding its own. And this is the one that I had planted a pot inside of a pot. And I think it did look better, she said earlier, but when the heat wave came on, there just wasn't enough water. This is the Bossa Nova Papaya Night begonia. I'm not sure if it's just getting too much sun or if it's struggling right now. It's not blooming or anything. Creeping Jenny looks good. So you know what? In the future, I might just put one King Tut in this pot and not even worry about what else I put in there because it doesn't seem to really matter. So in these urns, there's just some Creeping Jenny and some geraniums. And this geranium's a little bigger. I think it gets a little more sun, but it looks pretty good. I think it's really beautiful kind of coloring on it. And then down here, there's just some Creeping Jenny. We definitely have some bugs on the canna. This one hasn't flowered yet,
Would
unfortunately.
that be slugs or no?
Could be, I'm not sure. But I love the leaf on this though. And then we have more of the geraniums. I just love, I think it's like the Caldera or Caliente hot pink. Just gorgeous, really beautiful. This thing here is, now that the hydrangeas are drooping over, it's in full shade. So it was fuller before, Liz said. This Lysimachia didn't really get all that big, but it does have the nice flowers on it. We have the nice euphorbia in there. Geranium has kind of stopped blooming right now, but now we'll go up here and check out what's on the porch there. So this is one that I had purchased, kind of planted as is at one of the big box stores. The fern is doing incredible. This is a Hypoestes, and it's the white one.
That doesn't look so good.
Well, and they get like this one. So this one had flowered. I think we'll cut it back and let it do its thing.
Yeah.
There is a begonia in here. There's a nice yellow one. It's kind of
Overtaken.
Yeah, it's been overtaken a little bit. But that's okay. This one here is looking okay. So this is another lobelia.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me this is purple?
That's purple. What do you call it? Blue?
They call it a dark blue, but
No, it's purple.
And then this here is another one of those geraniums, like the ones out in front. It's kind of like these didn't really spread out all that much, and the geraniums didn't get that tall, but it's looking pretty good. And Lizzie's goal this year was to not overwater the ones here in the porch, and she did a great job. So these are the ones that tend to look the best. Because this is what she was able to focus on, and shade containers sometimes are a little easier. And these only get morning sun. I do love this here.
Wild fuchsia.
Fuchsia. This is, I think, La Campanella, and we have it here with some of the diamond snow euphorbia. I think that just is a really nice, beautiful combination. And then over here, and then right here we do have, I think this is the Space Age black hole begonia with some of the Tradescantia. That's the Nanook. This is a really nice looking container, and your sister has become addicted to propagating this. So she has a whole container over there of this Tradescantia, because that's all you do is cut it off and stick it in dirt or stick it in water and it takes off. So this one's looking pretty good. There's a bare spot here though. So I think it's growing towards the light a little bit. So maybe if we would have rotated it, but I still think it looks good from this angle. So this is the way people see it. So that's good. So I promised I'd show the good and the bad. So I think there's a lot of people who are watching going like, hey, some of my containers look better than some of theirs.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
And really, it was the fact that these conditions have been terrible. So there was a lot of rain for several weeks.
Yeah.
And that makes it really hard to fertilize when you're using liquid fertilizer, because you're afraid to overwater. Then they had the smoke from the wildflowers.
The wildfires up in Canada
So
coming
no
down.
sunny days for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe one day stuck in there here and there. Then
Heat.
Extreme heat came on. And so I think that's the hard thing for a lot of people with containers, is that like you can adapt to all those conditions to help your plants, but it's really hard to jump from one to the next to the next. Things that you could do though, like if you are getting a lot of rain, you still need to get that fertilizer in there. They're fine for the 2-3 weeks, but once you get past that, you might want to just give them the fertilizer anyway.
Something to eat.
Yeah. Now, if you use time release fertilizer, sometimes that can help as well. But usually, you don't know when you're going to get like 2 weeks solid of rain.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to prep for that. So a lot of people, I think, have trouble when there's a lot of rain, and then when conditions switch. And that's one of the things with containers. You got to adapt.
I'm shaking my head like I know what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Just keep nodding. Just keep nodding.
Oh, fascinating. Who knew?
I think
Who knew plants needed water?
There are a couple plants that I think I am going to trim back, give them a lot of fertilizer. While I'm gone, can you take on the fertilizing duties? Give your sister a break?
I can make an effort, an honest to goodness effort.
You are pretty good at watering, so
I would tend to overwater though.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's the end of the season. It'll be fine. Just roll with it. Just don't overwater those in front, because Lizzie was very diligent about keeping those.
The front looks really great.
Yeah, so. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
And welcome to our
I've learned something.
Our garden. Have you?
He's taught me. Every day is a school day with him. I've learned so much.
Oh boy, stroking my ego. He must need something.
I do.
He wants to go antiquing, I can tell.
I always do. Bye.